What do the white diagonal stripe markings in the middle of the road mean? No overtaking. You must not enter the area unless it's an emergency. You should not enter the area unless it's necessary and you can see it's safe. It's an overtaking area for motorcyclists. What is the speed limit on this road for the car towing the caravan? 60 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour. Why is it dangerous to overtake near a junction? The road surface will be slippery. A driver waiting to emerge might not see you. You'll be in the blind spot of the driver waiting to emerge. Your signal would be hard to see. Why has the line in the center of the road changed? To warn you the speed limit has changed. To warn of hazards ahead. To warn you there's a speed camera ahead. To warn you not to change lanes. Why is there a warning reduce speed now? Traffic is merging from the left. There's a T-junction ahead. There's a crossroads and a double bend ahead. There's a staggered junction ahead. You're traveling along a motorway. Where would you find a crawler or climbing lane? On a steep gradient. Before a service area. Before a junction. Along the hard shoulder. What should you do when you park a car facing downhill? Turn the steering wheel towards the curb. Park close to the bumper of another car. Park with two wheels on the curb. Turn the steering wheel away from the curb. What does it mean if you see this signal on the motorway? Leave the motorway at the next exit. All vehicles use the hard shoulder. Sharp bend to the left ahead. Stop, all lanes ahead closed. What should you do when you're approaching a bus that's signaling to move away from a bus stop? Get past before it moves. Allow it to pull away, if it's safe to do so. Flash your headlights as you approach. Signal left and wave the bus on. Why does this junction have a stop sign and a stop line on the road? Speed on the major road is de-restricted. It's a busy junction. Visibility along the major road is restricted. The junction is on a downhill gradient. What does this sign mean? Distance to parking place ahead. Distance to public telephone ahead. Distance to public house ahead. Distance to passing place ahead. You're driving on a single carriageway road. Why should you keep well back while you're following a large vehicle? To give yourself acceleration space if you decide to overtake. To get the best view of the road ahead. To leave a gap in case the vehicle stops and rolls back. To offer other drivers a safe gap if they want to overtake you. You're driving a car that has a diesel engine. What can a loose filler cap on your fuel tank cause? It can make the engine difficult to start. It can make the roads slippery for other road users. It can improve your vehicle's fuel consumption. It can increase the level of exhaust emissions. You're reversing into a side road. When would your vehicle be the greatest hazard to passing traffic? After you've completed the maneuver. Just before you begin to maneuver. After you've entered the side road. When the front of your vehicle swings out. Which sign means that the national speed limit applies. What type of emergency vehicle is fitted with a green flashing beacon? Fire engine. Road gritter. Ambulance. Doctor's car. What must you do if poor health affects your driving? Inform your local police. Avoid using motorways. Always drive accompanied. Inform the licensing authority. Why should the junction on the left be kept clear? To allow vehicles to enter and emerge. To allow the bus to reverse. To allow vehicles to make a U-turn. To allow vehicles to park. What do these motorway signs mean? They're countdown markers to a bridge. They're distance markers to the next telephone. They're countdown markers to the next exit. They warn of a police control ahead. What should you do when you see these horse riders in front? Pull out to the middle of the road. Slow down and be ready to stop. Switch on your hazard warning lights. Give a right turn signal. Do when you move off from behind a parked car. Give a signal after moving off. Look around before moving off. Look around after moving off. Use the exterior mirrors only. When are you allowed to stop on a motorway? When you need to walk and get fresh air. When you wish to pick up hitchhikers. When you're signaled to do so by traffic signals. When you need to use a mobile telephone. Who's responsible for paying the vehicle tax? The driver of the vehicle. The registered keeper of the vehicle. The car dealer. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, DVLA. How will a police officer in a patrol vehicle signal for you to stop? Flash the headlights, indicate left and point to the left. Overtake and give a slowing down arm signal. Use the siren, overtake, cut in front and stop. Pull alongside you, use the siren and wave you to stop. Your vehicle breaks down on a motorway and you need to call for help. Why might it be better to use an emergency roadside telephone rather than a mobile phone? It connects you to a local garage. Using a mobile phone will distract other drivers. It allows easy location by the emergency services. Mobile phones don't work on motorways. You're about to reverse into a side road. What should you do if a pedestrian is waiting to cross behind your car? Wave to the pedestrian to stop. Give way to the pedestrian. Sound your horn to warn the pedestrian. Reverse before the pedestrian starts to cross. You're driving along this road. What should you do if the red car cuts in close in front of you? Accelerate to get closer to the red car. Give a long blast on the horn. Drop back to leave the correct separation distance. Flash your headlights several times. How should you react to inexperienced drivers? Sound your horn to warn them of your presence. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. Flash your headlights to indicate that it's safe for them to proceed. Overtake them as soon as possible. How can drivers help the environment? By accelerating harshly. By accelerating gently. By using leaded fuel. By driving faster. What should the driver of the car approaching the crossing do? Continue at the same speed. Sound the horn. Drive through quickly. Slow down and get ready to stop. An injured motorcyclist is lying unconscious in the road. The traffic has stopped and there's no further danger. What could you do to help? Remove their safety helmet. Seek medical assistance. Move the person off the road. Remove their leather jacket. At an incident, a casualty is unconscious but breathing. When should you move them? When an ambulance is on its way. When bystanders tell you to move them. When there's a risk of further danger. When bystanders offer to help you. You're on a smart motorway. What does it mean if a red cross is showing above the hard shoulder and mandatory speed limits above all other lanes? The hard shoulder can be used as a rest area if you feel tired. The hard shoulder is for emergency or breakdown use only. The hard shoulder can be used as a normal running lane. The hard shoulder has a speed limit of 50 miles per hour. You're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? When there are continuous white lines in the middle of the road. When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. When you're facing oncoming traffic. When you're near a bus stop. You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? Your original route may be blocked. Your maps may have different scales. You may find you have to pay a congestion charge. You may get held up by a tractor. What's the purpose of triangular-shaped signs? To give warnings. To give information. To give orders. To give directions. Which road users benefit from token crossings? Car drivers and motorcyclists. Cyclists and pedestrians. Bus and lorry drivers. Tram and train drivers. The driver towing the caravan wants to turn right onto the dual carriageway. What should they do? Move partly into the central reservation and wait until it's safe to turn. Move out when an approaching driver flashes their headlights. Turn left and find a suitable place to turn around. Wait until the road is clear in both directions before turning. You're about to overtake a slow-moving motorcyclist. Which sign would make you take special care? You're going through a long tunnel. What will warn you of congestion or an incident ahead? Hazard warning lines. Other drivers flashing their lights. Variable message signs. Areas with hatch markings. This junction, controlled by traffic lights, has a marked area between two stop lines. What's this for? To allow taxis to position in front of other traffic. To allow people with disabilities to cross the road. To allow cyclists and pedestrians to cross the road together. To allow cyclists to position in front of other traffic. What does this sign mean? Maximum speed limit with traffic calming. Minimum speed limit with traffic calming. 20 cars only parking zone. Only 20 cars allowed at any one time. You're driving on a motorway and have to slow down suddenly due to a hazard ahead. How can you warn drivers behind of the hazard? Switch on your hazard warning lights. Switch on your headlights. Sound your horn. Flash your headlights. What should you do when you park at night on a road that has a 40 miles per hour speed limit? Park facing the traffic. Leave parking lights switched on. Leave dipped headlights switched on. Park near a street light. What's the reason for traffic calming measures? To stop road rage. To make overtaking easier. To slow traffic down. To make parking easier. What's the main benefit of driving a four-wheel drive vehicle? Improved grip on the road. Lower fuel consumption. Shorter stopping distances. Improved passenger comfort. What should you do if a tire bursts while you're driving? Pull on the parking brake. Brake as quickly as possible. Pull up slowly at the side of the road. Continue on at a normal speed. Which sign means there's a double bend ahead? Brakes down on a motorway and you manage to stop on the hard shoulder. What should you do if you use your mobile phone to call for help? Stand at the rear of the vehicle while making the call. Phone a friend and ask them to come and collect you. Wait in the car for the emergency services to arrive. Check your location from the nearest marker posts beside the hard shoulder. What restrictions apply if you're towing a trailer on a 3-lane motorway? You mustn't exceed 50 miles per hour. You mustn't overtake. You must have a stabilizer fitted. You mustn't use the right-hand lane. What can result when you travel for long distances in neutral, known as coasting? Improvement in control. Easier steering. Reduction in control. Increased fuel consumption. What shape is a stop sign? You're behind this cyclist. When the traffic lights change, what should you do? Try to move off before the cyclist. Allow the cyclist time and room. Turn right but give the cyclist room. Tap your horn and drive through first. You're driving past parked cars. What should you do if you see a bicycle wheel sticking out between the cars? Accelerate past quickly and sound your horn. Slow down and wave the cyclist across. Brake sharply and flash your headlights. Slow down and be prepared to stop for a cyclist. You're waiting at a level crossing. What must you do if a train passes but the lights keep flashing? Carry on waiting. Phone the signal operator. Edge over the stop line and look for trains. Park and investigate.